The talk is of reopening the economy, but much of it remains locked down. More than 6 million people have been furloughed under the government's job retention scheme. Business groups warn of mass redundancies if it isn't extended beyond June. But today the Chancellor signalled his intention to phase it out.
To anyone who's anxious about this, I want to give them reassurance today that there will be no cliff edge to the furlough scheme. I'm working as we speak to figure out the most effective way to wind down the scheme and ease people back into work in a measured way. But as some scenarios have suggested, we are potentially spending as much on the furlough scheme as we do on the NHS, for example. Now, clearly that is not a sustainable situation, which is why as soon as the time is right, we want to get people back to work, get our economy fired up again.
British Airways and Rolls-Royce have both furloughed workers. They're also laying off tens of thousands of staff. Is the furlough scheme working?
Well, Joel, as you said, over 6 million people have been furloughed. That's 6 million people who otherwise would have been at the risk of losing their jobs. So yes, I do think it is working, and that's why we put in place this economic intervention.
I mean, if we're lucky, this downturn will be short, but a vaccine may take a long time to, an effective one anyway, to discover. How much longer can the government continue to afford this level of support?
Well, the critical thing at this time is to provide that support through what will be a temporary disruption to our economy. But this is very severe. I've made that point before. Lots of jobs are at risk, lots of businesses are suffering, which is why we've put in place all the measures we have. It's to provide that bridge, that lifeline, to get through a temporary period, and then we can get back to bounce back to normal as quickly as possible thereafter.
The scale of taxpayer support on offer is unprecedented. Today the Chancellor added to it, launching bounce-back loans of up to £50,000 for small businesses.
Small and medium-sized businesses are the lifeblood of our economy, so it was important to me to make sure that they had access to the credit they needed, which is why we created the Bounce Back Loan Scheme. There were tens of thousands of applications already by, I think, lunchtime earlier today, and I'm confident that there's a simple form for people to fill in, and many of those businesses will have money in their accounts as early as tomorrow.
But as one scheme ramps up, another is scheduled to be withdrawn. The obvious danger is that some of the 6 million people who are currently furloughed will find they don't have a job to return to. Joel Hills, News at 10.